Thrones Rewind!
Hey! Hey, everybody. Hey, Internet, what's going on? So it's time to do our Game of Thrones Rewind, as usual. But before we get started, I want to remind everybody that Epic History X-Men Volume 3, The Dark Phoenix Saga, is now available on Vimeo-On-Demand. You can go check it out for the price of a comic book. You get over an hour's worth of the real history of the X-Men. There's a lot of awesome panel animations and voice acting done by me and my friends. Some of you are down with the Plopcast. You may recognize the voice of the Garbage Man. He's back. He has a villainous role I think you guys will enjoy. So yeah, check it out. We put a lot of heart into it. And yeah, don't go see that shitty X-Men movie. Like, just don't give them money. Like, give us money, because we actually do a good job with the X-Men. We actually care. So yes, go check it out. I'm super excited about it. Couldn't be more proud. And also, don't forget, guys, later on when we do the call-in portion of the show, to be on Google Chrome and have your webcam ready, and make sure to speak very audibly so I can hear your questions. So if you guys want to come on the show, we can do that as well. All right, let's get started. So, all right, this week on Game of Thrones fan fiction, I was like, this was I didn't hate this episode. Like, this episode was fine. Like, the plots progressed, things were happening. And so I was okay with it. We're going to do what we always do, where I'm just going to kind of go through everything, give my thoughts, and then open up to questions. So, okay. So first up, we've got Bran and Mira, and they're just trudging through the snow, and Mira's just like, there's only so far that girl can get, on those little legs of hers with carrying Bran around on that fucking deal, and Bran keeps having these flashback things. We see some stuff, which was cool to see a couple of some Mad King Ares like flashes and some wildfire flashes and stuff like that. I thought that was really cool, although I just kind of wanted to see more, because like I've always wanted to see Mad King Ares, but that was exciting. And then, you got all the zombies chasing after him. And then Cold Hands shows up. Oh, my goodness, it's fucking Cold Hands. Although I guess they're not going to call him Cold Hands. And it's immediately revealed that it is none other than Benjen Stark. He had been almost turned into a White Walker. And then the Children of the Forest found him and, saved him somehow. So now he's, chill. And that's cool. And, I was excited to see that. Even though I kind of feel like in the books, I don't think that Cold Hand's identity has been revealed yet at all. And he just always wears this thing. So everyone always thinks it's Benjen. Like, that's a big popular theory. So I wonder if that is going to be the case in the books, or if it'll be someone entirely. But I wouldn't be shocked if it was Benjen. Although I did want to see him have those black hands, because in the books he's like just black hands. It's just really creepy. But it was cool to see him kick all those zombie asses. There's some really cool skellies in that scene, actually. There was a couple of really good skeleton dudes. Skellies. Yeah, I love the skellies. Those guys are a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm excited to see Cold Hands. I'm excited to see Benjen Stark back, big surprise. So yeah, we'll see where that goes. I'm okay with that, because at first I was just like, what the fuck? Like, how is this girl going to get away from these zombies? Because there's a lot of zombies after them. But whatever. Okay, so moving on. We have Sam and Gilly. They are heading down to Old Town. They're going to stop off at Horn Hill. This is the first time we've ever seen Horn Hill, and this is where Sam is from. And his dad is just such a super bummer. Like, his dad is just such a bummer, because if you don't remember, his dad made him renounce his title, or he was going to kill him and give it to his little brother. So he did. And now that, it's so funny, because he comes back. And it's you think his dad would be like, whoa, my son's banged a wildling. That's pretty awesome. But I guess his dad's it's just a super bummer all around. That dinner scene was man, I've totally had that kind of dinner before. I've been to those dinners, and they really suck. They really suck. Yeah. But I told my Gilly to just not say anything. I was just just let him make fun of me, just let him talk shit about me. It's fine. Let's just get out of here. And so, yeah, that's what we did. But yeah, so I was super, though, excited that Sam did not leave Gilly there. And in the books, Gilly goes with him to the Citadel, and he gets her a job in the kitchens or something there, but I think, or somewhere outside. But I'm glad that he didn't keep her there. And he's like, we're going to go together. Fuck that guy. And then
where on the map are they at?
Well, let's take a look at the map. We have, this is the wall, right? So they came all the way down to Horn Hill, which is right near Highgarden, where the Tyrells are from. And then you have Old Town. I'm sure I wasn't mic'd for that, so you guys probably didn't hear it. But there was Old Town over there, and that's where the Citadel is, and that's where all the maesters are. That's where they get their chain and all that stuff. That's where their Maester University is.
How'd they get all the way down there?
So I don't know. I mean, they don't in this show. They're just like people just get around like that now. Like there's no like big traveling thing. Like in the first season, it was like such a to do. To go from like the north to the south. It's this big fucking deal. And now it's like you're just there. But whatever, they have to do it for time. I get it. But I loved that he took the sword. I love that he stole the sword. That is so awesome because if you don't remember. The Valyrian steel, besides dragon glass, besides obsidian, Valyrian steel is the only thing that'll kill White Walkers. Like fire too, that too. But I'm glad he took Heartsbane. That's so sick. I'm sure his dad's gonna be so bummed. Like his dad gonna be so bummed. I love it. I love that he's just bumming out his dad left and right. It's pretty great. So, yeah, and he could just give that sword to somebody else to wield it. It's like he just needs that Valyrian steel. And in fact, they could potentially melt that down and like make like other swords out of it, like smaller swords to where people have like little daggers and stuff. I don't know. We'll see what he does with it, but Valyrian steel is the way to go. All right. So moving on, we are at the keep. We have Tommen. He's at the Sept and he gets to go. He's talking to the Sparrow. He's always talking to Sparrow and Sparrow's like, you want to see your girl? And he's like, sure. And he goes in and, Marjorie's like, hey, it's cool. And she's playing the king or whatever. I don't know. Like, I mean, Here's my big question. Here's a poll for you guys. Do you think that Marjorie has been born again or is she playing the Sparrow? Is she just doing this whole thing? Because she's a great actress and she's so manipulative that you really can't tell, and I mean, I do think that she'll do anything to save her own hide, including being like, sure, whatever, we'll let this guy into the fold. But we'll get kind of more into that later when we go back because that was another thing I was wondering when I was watching the episode is like, she's getting ready to make her walk of atonement, but she's still out all of her hair, and I'm like, well, that's not really a walk of atonement. Cause like the whole deal is like, you get all your hair chopped off, like all over your body. Like you're just completely shaven so you can start again. It's kind of like this big ritual that you get rid of the bad juju, So, and that's what happened. It's in the books, but that's also what happened to Cersei. That's what they do. And that also like a woman's hair back then is like this huge symbol. And so to be shorn off like that, like that's devastating. It's devastating. So anyways, moving on, we've got Arya and Bravos and man, that Cersei actress, the lady who plays the actress, she's really pretty. I thought she was really pretty. But Arya just can't do it. She likes this chick. She's a Stark, she can't deal with injustice. She can't see this shitty little crappy actress with the tits fuck over the good actress that everybody actually likes, and is like badass and talented. I mean, that's just that Stark blood, man. They're so honor bound. Like they just cannot do it. And so she decides to say, fuck this faceless man. And she goes and gets Needle, which, she had stowed away. I'm so glad that she didn't throw that shit in the river.
That was a good scene.
And yeah, Needle returns. I'm so excited, Katie. I'm so excited. And so now I guess we're going to get a showdown between Arya and the Waif, which will be really interesting to see. That Waif, man, she's got it coming. Like, she's such a little jerk. She's not really like that in the books, but like, she's such a little jerk in the show, man.
How do you feel about that whole revelation?
But we were talking about this last week on Game of Thrones Rewind, and it was asked that if I thought she was going to stay with the Faceless Men or if she was going to leave the Faceless Men. And I guess she's just going to leave. But I don't feel like she really, I mean, they trained her a little bit, but I don't think she's like trained enough necessarily to go back and like kick everybody's ass yet. So maybe it's just another way station on her next deal. Maybe she'll hang out with the troupe of actors and go around with them for a while and learn some stuff. I don't know. Maybe she'll get on a ship and sneak on and go back over to Westeros. I have no idea. We'll see. So next up, back at King's Landing. We're back at King's Landing. They've soldiered up. They're gonna kick these sparrows' asses. And man, that High Sparrow, he is just so good, man. He is just so good. He's manipulated the situation so well. Now you have Tommen showing up, and he's like, guys, my chick is not gonna run naked through the streets. I got my own like King's Guard that's also like religious King's Guard people. So I guess they're like the Knights Templar now in a way. which is kind of an interesting idea. And I mean, honestly, I don't blame Tommen because I mean, look at like his family and like all these people and his advisors around him have all been like shitty towards him. And like they haven't really been like trying to teach him or help him or showing him like anything, you know, they just kind of like rule and he just sits there and does nothing. And then you have the Sparrow who's like, hey, let me talk to you about things. Let you talk to me about things. Like he's being kind of a fatherly figure that Tommen has never had. So it's like, is it any wonder that he goes over to the other side, you know? And quite honestly, I mean, as much as I'm against, you know, zealotry in all its forms and extremism, you know, the people who've been running King's Landing just like haven't been doing that great of a job, to be honest with you. And maybe the Sparrow will, you know, using these dirty underhanded tactics and manipulation, maybe he's got a better plan. I don't know. I mean, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe he's a down ass dude. I don't know. Maybe he's evil. But I mean, I don't understand like what is his evil end to like make sure that there's like less like poverty and stuff going on. I mean, I don't know. But I mean, power for what though? What is he going to use his power for? He just wants to like convert everybody. I mean, isn't everybody mostly like worships the seven anyways? It's not like their faith is being threatened at all. I don't know. We'll see. I mean, I'm very interested. I'm highly interested in the High Sparrow. I think he's a fascinating character, and I can't wait to see what happens next with him now that he's going to be included. Is he going to be sitting on the friggin' council? I don't know. We'll find out soon. And also you had Jaime. He's stripped of his Kingsguard, so he's no longer the Lord Commander, you know, and I guess they're just going to send him off to the Riverlands, but like, honestly, I don't give a fuck. Like, I do not want to see him in the Riverlands. Although I guess Brienne might be going there. So maybe Brienne and Jaime can like hang out some more, I guess. But you know, I want Brienne to hang out with Tormund. I don't want her to hang out with Jaime. I want Brienne and Tormund together. And that whole scene with Cersei and Jaime where they're like, you know, we're the only two people in the world. It's like, they're so fucking impotent, you know? It's like, they're terrible at the Game of Thrones, you know? It's like, Cersei, shut the fuck up. And why don't you just go to Lannisport and where you're fucking from and take over Castle Rock and just start fucking hanging out there? Because like, what Lannisters are even in Lannisport anymore? Does anyone even care that they have their own fucking keep that's awesome? Like, just go there. Like, fuck these people. Like, they don't like you. You don't have any power. Just leave. It's fine. You and Jaime could go there and live together and do whatever the fuck you want and be fine. But, you know, Lannisport is, oh, Jesus. Lannisport, okay, you have King's Landing. It's like directly on the opposite. You know, it's like King's Landing's there and then Lannisport's all the way over there. So, yeah. So it's like, it's not even that far of a ride, you know, just go on. It's fine. So now we also have the Freys and we go see the Freys and, you know, I mean, Walder Frey sucks, everyone. And he's just such a crusty old dude, you know. I wish one of his own house members would just slit his throat and be done with it, you know. It's like, but they're all such weak wieners, you know, they're chinless wieners. And like, he's like, oh, I'll go get Riverrun. Like, with what? Like, with what, dude? Like, what do you want us to do? Like, you know, we're fucking outnumbered here. Lord Edmure's, and then Lord Edmure shows up, the idiot brother, you know, and like, who can, like, the Blackfish is gonna give a fuck about that guy? Like, that guy fucked them over, like, in the first place. Like, you think you're really gonna, you know, bargain with him to get a whole keep back for this one idiot dude? Like, I don't think the Blackfish is gonna give a shit. And it just makes no sense. Like, why would they even keep him in the first place? Like, that doesn't even make any sense either. Like, why would you keep a Tully alive if like they have a claim that and people like those people and he could eventually escape and go back to River? It doesn't make any sense. I don't know. I'm not so sure about this Riverrun thing that they're trying to set up. You know, we'll see. And yes, so we go back to the north and, well, we already talked about Benjen being cold hands. Although it was weird because he's like, hey, drink this. And he gives Bran like a cup of blood. And I was like, is that like the hot cocoa beyond the wall is just like a hot cup of blood because you can't get any like anything that's warm or something? That seems like pretty gnarly. I don't know. Although maybe he's giving some weird blood magic stuff. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with that weird drinking blood thing. But then at the very end, we go back to Marine or Essos, I should say. And Dany is leading her Khalazar. You know, she's hanging out with her boo. And, you know, she knows her dragons are, you know, she's a mom. She's got that sixth sense, you know, and she feels that her babies are close to her. And she's like, hold on, guys. I gotta go figure this out. Although I did think it was kind of a cop out to not show how she like tamed it and got on top of him. Because in the books, it's like a real problem of like, how are you going to figure out how to do this? Because these things are fucking wild, you know, like it's kind of a problem. But when she comes out and she's flying around on it, it's like super badass. And like Drogon looked so good. Like Drogon just looked like it's so great. That shot of him was just amazing. I like the dragons look so good in this show. Like I can't even. So now she's got her dragons. She's learned how to fly. She's like, hey guys, we're gonna go over to Westeros and take over. You know, although I was thinking, like, I don't know how much the Westerosi people would really appreciate a Dothraki horde invading their land, because I mean those people, like, they're not gonna like chill out after the battle's over. Like those guys are gonna fucking go all over and rape and pillage because they're friggin' barbarians. Like that's what they do. So what is she planning on doing? Is she planning on bringing them over there, conquering her throne, and then sending them back? Because if she sent them back, then that's fine, you know. But if she's gonna keep them there, well, I don't know if that's gonna work out very well, and they're gonna just bum everybody out in general. And like I do feel like, you know, her boo brings up the fact, Dario, that he's like, you know, you're not really a ruler, you're more of a conqueror, you know. And it's like, and I totally agree with that. And you know, she just needs to, like, who gives a fuck about this Iron Throne? She needs to get over there and fuck up these White Walkers, you know. Like that's what she's born to do. She's not born to sit on the Iron Throne, okay? She was born to go fuck up White Walkers, and that's the fucking deal, you know. So I'm excited to see eventually that, you know, I eventually want to see her get over there, because she's got those dragons of the fire, man, and that fire will just blow all those fucking White Walkers out, you know. It's like just problem solved right there, you know. They're done, you know. Fuck you, Night's King, you know, go back to fucking wherever. So yeah, this episode, some major things happen. I'm excited to see where we're going. You know, I'm excited to see Daenerys kick some zombie ass at some point. We'll see what the Sparrow's intentions are, and if Marjorie is in fact born again, or whether she's also just playing the High Sparrow, which, you know, I feel like she's probably playing him, but we'll see. And yes. So yeah, we're gonna run that poll about the Marjorie deal, and then we're gonna open it up to questions. So in a minute. So if you guys want to go ahead, get on Google Chrome if you haven't already. Make sure that you have your webcam ready. And as I said earlier, just make sure to speak up and speak audibly so I can hear your questions, because, you know, this is not an exact science here. So we're figuring it out as we go along. Let me think of some fun anecdotes while we're bringing up some callers. What did I do this week? Oh yeah, I just put out a documentary. That's what I did.
What documentary?
Yeah, let me talk about Epic History X-Men some more, because I'm just so excited about it. Man, I had so much fun, like, doing all these voices. My favorite voice was Lilandra Niramani. She's like a space princess from the Shi'ar Empire. And, you know, she's very sincere and just, and I have this really low voice that I do for her. And I enjoy doing that voice so much that I'm tempted to make a Lilandra cosplay outfit and then like just go around at a con and talk in that voice like all night and just talk like that to everybody, because it's so much fun. So, but I'm not even going to tell you what I sound like, because I want you to just go find out for yourself with Epic History X-Men Volume 3. I also did the voice for Jean Grey, and I did the voice for Dazzler. She's got like 2 lines, you know, I had to stick them in there. I did the shopkeep, various goons, some Hellfire goons, all that sort of stuff. I think that was about it. Okay, yeah, so you guys think she's manipulating? Yeah, we'll see how. Yeah, those Tyrells, she's sneaky. She's sneaky bitch. So director T-Bone has a question.
So are you more excited for Game of Thrones now after these last 2 episodes being good?
Am I more excited for Game of Thrones after the last 2 episodes being better episodes? You know, I'm still. I mean, it's not George R.R. Martin stuff, so it's like it's never gonna be what I want it to be.
Well, we know that.
But
by now.
I mean, I'm neutral, I guess. I'm neutral now. I'm not on the excited fence, but I'm not on like the shitting on it fence right now either. I'm like neutral. It's happening. I still think of it as fan fiction though. But I do want to see, in my fan fiction, I do want to see Tormund and Brienne hook up. And I was disappointed that I did not see any Tormund or Brienne hotness in this episode.
Well, maybe next time.
Man, you guys. I love all the Tormund memes that are happening on the internet. Like they're just, you guys on the internet are just on fire with these Tormund memes. Like they're so good. They're so good. I feel like I need to think of a funny one and make one myself. Yeah, I love the X-Men one because there's this. If you guys haven't seen this meme in particular from the X-Men cartoon series, when Jean dies, there's this picture of Wolverine is in his full gear in his room, like laying on his bed, and he's looking sad at this picture, and then you see like over his shoulder the picture and him like touching the face of the picture, and someone put Tormund's face on Wolverine's face, and then Brienne's face in the Jean picture. It was like a picture of her. And I thought that was pretty good. The romance novel one that somebody did was pretty good too, where they photoshopped Brienne's head on this like super strong muscle man body, and then Tormund's head on like the damsel. It was like, I put it on my Instagram. You guys should follow my Instagram if you're not already, because it's pretty funny. At Comic Book Girl 19, just saying. And we also, hold on. All right, question time. Sad Wolverine.
Lauren?
Hey, hey, Lauren.
Hey, I'm back from last week.
I remember you. How's it going?
Good. So I wanted to hear your thoughts on whether you think Lady Stoneheart might make an appearance at Riverrun. I'm wondering if maybe they're setting that up.
From what I've read on different various articles, they've all just said, no, we're not going to do Lady Stoneheart. We're not going to do Lady Stoneheart because she's a dumb zombie, and we don't want to waste that actress's talent on being a dumb zombie, which I think is really harsh. I think that Lady Stoneheart is not a crazy dumb zombie. She's bad as shit. But we'll see. I mean, it could be. I would be shocked, and I would be delighted if I could see some Lady Stoneheart. I really hope they do that. But I don't know. I don't think they're going to. But they could. What did you think of this episode?
I felt like the Walder Frey scene was purely to kind of set up and remind us, hey, Red Wedding happened. And then there were a lot of like, in the Bran sequence where he was seeing all the flashbacks of the Mad King, there were a couple with, wasn't it the slitting throat and stuff? So I thought maybe they were like reminding us of that because they were hinting that that might be a possibility. But
yeah, it could be. It could be. I mean, it would make sense because they did bring up the Brotherhood Without Banners in that scene too, which I was like, got excited because I love Beric Dondarrion and the Lightning Lord, who's like the leader. But did he give up his life in the show already? I can't remember if he died or not in the show, like died. No. Yeah. So Beric Dondarrion maybe still doing it. Maybe he's still out there, but it could be. I mean, that would be a good shock if they did it. I mean, but then
this season for resurrections, like they're bringing people back to life in this particular season. So maybe like they're hinting that it's possible now, whereas they didn't do much in earlier seasons.
Yeah, actually, yeah, that makes sense. Like maybe you're onto something there. Maybe you're changing my mind now. Okay. I think I'm gonna go.
I just want to see it.
I do too. I want to see it so bad. I know, and we all just want to see Walder Frey get it, like we just all want to see that fucking salty bastard get it, he's just such a bummer.
And I want Stark to kill him. I really want Stark to do it.
I know, like, that would be great, and especially, I mean, we have who knows where everyone's heading, like Sansa and her troop, I don't know if she's just going to send Brienne to Riverrun, or if like some of the whole they're going to have a little entourage down there. I don't know, we'll see. But, I don't know. This Riverrun thing. It's just Jaime's going to be a River. What is Jaime going to do at Riverrun? Like, what does he care? Like, why is he going to be a Riverrun? It doesn't make Jaime's poor story. It's all fucked up. I feel bad for Jaime's story arc. Riverrun is right over. Do you really want me to get up and go over there? No. Okay. Yeah, it's over there. It's over there. If I had a little stick, I don't have a stick, unfortunately. I need to get one of those little sticks. Rebecca online too. All right, Rebecca. How's it going?
Hello again.
Hello. Welcome back.
Hi. So I'm wondering what you think about the timing of different plot lines, because some seem like they're just rushing through a whole storyline, and then others just kind of linger on one for a long time. And I was wondering which plot lines you think were going too fast and which ones were going too slow, or vice versa, whatever.
Well, which ones do you think? Let me hear your things, and I'll play off of you.
I definitely think that the Arya storyline is going way too fast. Like she kind of, I think like you said, she got beaten with a stick for 3 episodes and now she's leaving the House of Black and White. And that kind of, it feels very rushed. And also, I don't know if other people would agree, because a lot of people don't like the Sparrow storyline, but it seems, I don't know, there was no build up to Marjorie's conversion, which kind of felt a bit rushed, and then suddenly Tommen's converted as well, and there's this whole big thing, and then there was no kind of character building there.
Yeah.
I guess those are the main two for me with Speed. I think they're kind of rushing through them, but then lingering on other parts, kind of filler, I guess.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I definitely agree with Arya's whole story in Bravos to me was never what I wanted it to be, because, you know, people in Bravos, they don't speak Westerosi, you know, they have their own language, and she's like really like has to learn their language and has to go do that by just hanging out and being cat of the canals and like selling little cockles and like doing all this stuff. And it really shows like all this hard work that she's doing. And yeah, I mean, you just have this training montage, you know, and it's like, oh, she's a super badass now. But it's like, well, you just beat a girl with a stick once, you know, like, I don't know if I believe that you're like totally ready to go back to Westeros and beat everybody's ass. And you don't know how to like change your face and stuff like that either. You know, because it was, yeah, I agree with you on the Arya storyline. It's like her storyline's been a little weird for me because I was just so excited about Bravos. I was so excited to see her there. And then when she's been there, I'm just kind of like, you know, it's very meh to me. And yeah, the Sparrows, they do just kind of pop up out of nowhere, you know, and I would like to see, I mean, it does feel like they are, and this is something that I've always felt with the whole show, is that they've kind of rushed through a lot of stuff, you know. I mean, I felt like they should have had the first book split into 2 seasons, you know, and like each book you could have made easily into 20 episodes, you know, like easily, no problem, because there's so much material. And like knowing that George R.R. Martin is, you know, not the fastest writer in the world, and that, you know, I don't know, it's like you could have slowed down on a lot of stuff, and there's more than enough stuff to slow down on that's totally worth it, you know. So in general, I feel like they kind of speed things up, you know. And with with Daenerys thing too, you know, like her speeding up, like, okay, now she's on a dragon flying around, even though it's very validating to see her on the dragon flying around, and I love seeing her on the dragon flying around. At the same time, I love that in the books, there's like this big issue of like, fuck, like, how's she going to tame these motherfuckers? Because like they're crazy ass dragons. And then you have that, I know they can't do they're not doing the horn, the magical horn, you know, but I like the magical horn and I want to see her blow it. And then like fucking have these fucking dragons with some magic and shit, you know, because they're not like cats and dogs, you know, you can't just train them like normal. Like they're insane. So yeah, and plus too, it's like Dany she doesn't know about the White Walkers, but I just wish she would focus on like, fuck the Iron Throne, man. That thing sucks. Like, who wants to sit on that shit anyways? You know, it's like, do you really want to sit on that? That shit's boring. Like, you were bored to tears in Marine. You're boring me in Marine. You know, just go around and fuck shit up. That's what you're good at. You know, it's like, I don't know. I feel like maybe I'm like that. It's like I'm just good at fucking shit up. I don't know if I'm good at like ruling a fucking deal. Let me go to the chat log for a second. Jason asks, weren't the Sparrow and the Andals when they came over and messed up the children of the forest? I can't remember right now. Weren't the Sparrows with the Andals when they came? I can't remember either, actually. I don't know if does anyone out there know if the Sparrows were like with the Andals when they came over, like in the First Men and all that? Or were they just like more pagan back then? Because did they have the Seven back then? Because, well, okay, so there's also there's the Andals and there's the First Men, because the First Men came over first and like fought with the children for like 2,000 years. But then after that, somewhere in there, the Andals came over, and I think they're separate from the First Men. I think that's like they're like Vikings or something, you know? Because like if you didn't know, I mean, a lot of this stuff is based off of English like royalty, like history, monarchy stuff. You know, and in England, you had like the regular population that was there. And then later on, all these fucking Vikings came down and like totally took over and like displaced like 500,000 fucking dudes that were like the original settlers of England. Yeah, the only reason I know that is because I I have insomnia sometimes, and I listen to this David Starkey's Monarchy series to help me go to sleep at night, because it's like listening to British monarchy stuff is kind of boring. So, but it's not that boring because I've actually picked a bunch of stuff up accidentally. Brian says the Andals brought the 7 with them. Yeah, you're right, Brian. The First Men, I think they were just more chill. Yeah.
Did we talk about that history Baratheon?
I can't remember which epic history we talked about the Andals and the First Men and all that stuff. I know, it's crazy. We make these intense videos, and then afterwards I just dump all this knowledge, and then I don't remember what I even did or said a lot of times. Like, I remember like there was this thing on Conan where someone's like, "Hey Conan, you remember that time you put a wig on and you're shirtless on top of a horse or with like in a tub of like mustard or jello or something?" He's like, "I didn't do that. And then they show him a clip and he like totally did do that, and he's like, "Fuck, I guess I did that." And like I feel like that's how I am a lot of times, where I'm like, "Oh shit, I forget half the stuff that I do."
We've shot like over 300 videos.
Yeah, well, no, yeah, we've shot. Yeah, I guess, well, not over 300 videos. I think it has over 200 videos on our channel, I think. But that's not including like the hour-long documentaries, which are like 10 videos in one video. That shit's crazy. Let me go back to the chat log. What did you think of the Mad King flashbacks? Shroz, I want more. You know, I've always wanted to see them go back and just do Robert's Rebellion, you know? Like, let's just do Robert's Rebellion. You know, I was kind of disappointed that like, it's like, you guys, man. Yeah. George R. R. Martin suggested that when they were like, well, we're coming up on your shit. Like, what are we going to do? We don't know where the rest of the story is going. And I think he suggested that, why don't you maybe do a season of like that, or a flashback season or something, which, you know, honestly, I'd be down for. Like, I got no problems with that idea. Like, I would totally be down to see that shit. But, you know, I guess we're not going to do that, unfortunately. But more King Ares, and I want to see him look crazy. I want to see those fingernails. You know, that guy did not cut his nails. You know, he had a real problem being a crazy person. So let me go to the chat log here for the Q&A. We got Bobby asking, will Arya survive till the end, do you think? I fucking hope so. You know, I mean, if they kill off Arya, like, they're going to have a revolt on their hands. Like, I feel like you can't keep killing Starks, like, left and right. You know, it's like, and I don't want to see her brought back either, you know, like, fuck that shit. I hope that she does. And I think that she's adaptable enough. Like, that's the thing about Arya versus the rest of her family, is that, you know, they're so honor bound, you know, and she is too, to a degree, but she's far more willing to be adaptable. She's far more willing to do what it takes to survive. You know, I mean, she has real intelligence, and that is the ability to adapt. And I like her character so much. So yeah. And Corey, great idea. Season of Aegon the Conqueror. Fuck yeah, man. Seeing the Targaryens come over on their dragons and taking over that shit. Oh, that would be so fucking cool. You know, and that would be the best. I mean, they just have so much stuff they could go back and do. It's like totally fine. In fact, you know what? They might do that if like they just start fucking up left and right and everyone revolts about the show.
You're up in line.
Hey, we got a new caller. How's it going?
What's up, Murat?
Yo. So what's your question?
I'm curious to know what you think the end game is with the Iron Islands, like Theon and all that.
Hold on, say that one more time. You're cutting out a little bit for me.
I'm wondering what you think the end game is with Theon and everyone over there.
Okay.
Iron Islands. Where are they going with that?
All right. Well, since I feel like since their shitty uncle was like talking about Daenerys and the dragons, you know, I'm thinking that maybe Yara is going to like take his plan and just be like, hey, I don't want to marry you, but why don't we just like team up, you know, because she's got ships like a motherfucker, like go all the way over there and then make contact with her and be like, hey, girl, like girl power, let's go fuck some shit up. We're both like crazy conqueror warrior bitches, you know, like that would be super awesome. And honestly, I mean, fuck, I wouldn't mind seeing fucking Yara on the Iron Throne, man. She's awesome. Like Yara's like so my girl. Oh man, she's my fucking favorite. And then poor Theon, you know, I mean, he just tags along wherever, you know, he doesn't have a dick anymore. He's just sad all the time, you know, which he should be, you know. I'm glad he's with his sister though. Maybe she can help build him back up a little bit, you know. Maybe he'll build some confidence now that he's on the fleet and he'll get his sea legs back, and yeah, maybe he'll redeem himself, you know, somehow. I would like to see Theon redeem himself, for sure. You know? I would definitely like to see that. What do you think that Yara? Do you have any ideas of what you think she's gonna do?
Honestly, I don't really see her cooperating with the other people who want to rule Westeros. I think she wants it for herself. I think that she might be heading down a path that's maybe not great for her.
Mhm.
Also, and this kind of brings me to my other kind of question. Do you think they're setting Dany up to be a villain? Just in the way that she's like megalomaniac, like, you know, going a little nuts about being the ruler of Westeros. Is she going to be a bad guy later?
I mean, yeah, that's what I'm saying with this Dothraki horde business, because
Yeah.
you're just gonna bum everybody out if you bring those assholes over there. 'Cause
They're not nice people.
they're crazy. Like, you're bringing crazy barbarians over here. Like,
Yeah.
you're not gonna win the hearts and minds of these motherfucking people with that shit. You know, like not at all. But at the same time, though, she does need allies. You know, I mean, like having an ally does not hurt. And you know, I feel like Yara would be a great ally. Dorne, I mean, they fucked up Dorne so bad this season. Like, Dorne's just garbage. But Dorne would have been an ally for her. They're all about it. Like, they fucking are all about the Targaryens. They have a secret pact that they made with them like a long, long time ago. So like, Dorne's like totally ready to help out Daenerys if she comes over. But again, it's like I don't want to see her on the Iron Throne. I want to see her fuck up some White Walkers and like, you know, do that sort of shit because that's what she's good at, man. That's what she's good at. Let me go.
Just to kind of bring up another thing, the Three-Eyed Raven told Bran that he's going to learn to fly, and I personally view that as like he's going to be warging some dragons.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
So
I mean, that would be dope as fuck. Like, I never even thought of that. That's fucking awesome. And yeah, I would be so down to see some Bran warging into a dragon and fucking shit. Man, we just want to see these dragons fuck some shit up. I don't know. Do you guys want to see dragons fuck some shit up? Because I do. Yeah. It's like that's Tormund and Brienne love story, and dragons fucking shit up is just like keeping me here. You know, like there's a lot of fuckery going on, but those two ideas are strong enough to keep me going. You know.
yeah.
In the chat log, we have Felix asking, what does it mean for Bran to be ready? How can he stop the Night's King? I don't fucking know, man. That shit doesn't make any sense to me. Like, I'm right with you there, Felix, because they keep hinting at all this stuff like, you're going to be the new Three-Eyed Raven. It's like, well, what does that mean? I mean, that other guy just sat in a tree all the time. Like, what exactly was he doing? That's never even really established. And, you know, it's like he can, go back in time and fuck shit up? I mean, I don't know. Like, that's We'll see what that shit means. I don't know how Bran's gonna stop any of this. Like you'll be at the wall to stop him, and it's like, but it didn't. And I don't understand how the Night's King touching him gives him a multi-pass. The Night's King a multi-pass to go past the wall either. I'm really not sure why that means that. I don't know. I'm confused. Do you guys know? I mean, am I missing something here? I don't know. Now, Alex asks, will the Hound return? And, you know, there's a big thing about the Clegane Bowl. Everyone wants to see the Mountain versus the Hound. The Hound was never killed on screen. So, you know, he could totally be out there. I mean, he's got to be out there. It's like, you don't kill him on screen, you know? And it might be, I mean, if Cersei does, I mean, we all know that Cersei's going to ask for trial by combat, right? And you're going to have Franken Mountain. But you know that the Hound fucking hates that whole family. Like, he fucking hates them. So he would totally go to the Sparrows and be like, oh, I'll be your fucking guy, you know, like, and maybe he's secretly been with the Sparrows. Maybe he's converted because he, like, you know, he did do a lot of bad things, and he doesn't want to do those things necessarily. Like, he can be the bad guy, but he doesn't necessarily want to be. But yeah, I think that if I had to put money on it, I feel like we're going to see the Clegane Bowl when they have the Cersei's trial by combat. I feel like that's going to happen. So yes. So we're going to wrap it up today. You guys, thanks so much for coming in. Thank you to all my callers. You guys are beautiful and lovely and wonderful questions. I love you all. And don't forget Epic History X-Men Volume 3 on Vimeo-On-Demand. It's like so fucking super sick. Like, you guys are going to be like if you liked this last X-Men movie, okay, if you like that garbage, you're gonna fucking die when you see our shit because it's like fucking so good. Like, you're gonna fucking shit yourself. So you know, no, I'm tooting my own horn. We worked really fucking hard on this. Like, this whole weekend was just like, I didn't really have a holiday weekend. I just put out a documentary, and all my friends kept texting me being like, well, let's hang out. And I was like, no, I'm fucking doing this. I do not have time for fucking hot dogs. So not that I eat hot dogs anyways, but whatever. I don't have anything against hot dogs. I just, you know. Hey. But yeah, so after this, we're going to do a quick Silicon Valley wrap-up review. And then after that, we're going to do our bullshit movie news, where basically I'm just going to talk shit about X-Men Apocalypse. I saw it last night. It made me so sad and so just the worst. So I'll tell you all about why that movie is a big pile of shit. All right, great. See you guys next week for Game of Thrones.